Hello and welcome back to this channel Comic Books. Today, we will be doing a recap of a Marvel visual novel called Capt.America Sentinel of Liberty Chapter 8. This novel is about the Avengers, who have waged their final bloody showdown with the multiversal masters of evil for the fate of prehistoric Earth and the entire Marvel Age of Heroes. Not everyone will survive. Meanwhile, Tony Stark must face his greatest enemy, his own father, the Iron Inquisitor. At the beginning of the chapter, we see Captain America running toward a store in Kansas. As soon as he enters the store, he asks the owner of the store if he can use the phone. The owner of the store is busy watching the news, and while watching the news he says to Captain America that he needs to show him some ID. First, Captain America says to the owner that he was not carrying his wallet at the time. But if the owner looks at him, he might find that Captain is somewhat familiar, although Captain says that he hates doing this. As the owner turns towards him, he is shocked that it was Captain America in flesh. Then the captain asks him to use the phone. Meanwhile, the news was being telecast that the AIM, or the Advanced Idea Mechanic, has invaded Manhattan overnight. They have taken a lot of people hostage and have put a barrier around the city. And the Avengers were trying their best to fight against it, but the barrier was still standing. Captain calls his allies when he sees the news. Captain asks the owner of the store if this news was about what's going on in New York City. The owner says to Captain, and looks like Captain America should be there in this time of crisis. Captain says that he agrees that he should be there. The owner asks Captain if he was going to call the Avengers. Captain says that he was not, because the Avengers would have been ordered to stand down. The owner asks him that is he going to call some secret Avengers. Captain America says to the owner that it was not a bad idea. Soon the call gets through, and Captain speaks with the man on the other side. Then Captain confirms his location by saying that he was in a little station outside Baxter Springs, Kansas. Captain America says to the man that he knows his stuff and tells him that he needs someone to pick him up, and asks the man if he can help Captain America. Then Captain America tells the man to activate the Captain Network, and that they have to find some friends through it. In occupied Manhattan, Steve's three college friends, David, Mia, and Hudson, worried about Steve's disappearance, so they come to check up on him at his apartment. Mia and David knock at the door, and Mia calls out Steve's name. David shouts from outside the door and says that if even Steve was bleeding and close to death, he should scream to let them know that he was inside the room. Hudson tells Mia and David to stop all this nonsense and to move aside as he is going to break this door. But at that moment, a young boy comes there and tells them that Steve was not there. David says to the kid that was he talking about their normal friend who lives here. The kid says that he knows that Steve is Captain America, and he sometimes boxes with him. He tells them that his name is Amory. Mia asks Amory where were his parents. Amory says to Mia that he only has his mother, and she was at Queens when the force field went up, and he thinks that his mother will be very worried about him. Here, they hear a voice which was saying that the first floor has been secured. Then another voice came in which was telling his comrades that it was time to move to the second floor and to attack Captain America as soon as they reach there. Mia says that they were not late, instead they came here way too early, and tell everyone to quickly get inside Amory's apartment. Two men from the AIM comes there, and one of them says that this all was way too wild. Everyone will tell stories about them in the headquarters for years, that they are the duo who took Captain America down. The soldiers then burst into Steve's apartment and blast the place with flamethrowers, hoping to kill Captain America. The four friends flee via the fire escape. While fleeing, Hudson asks the others what should they do now. While they were hiding behind a dumpster, Amory tells them that the gym's building was very old and it had a basement that looked like a bomb shelter. David, after hearing this, says that it has cement walls, which will deaden the signals enough that he will be able to build some gears before the bumblebees from the AIM would be able to catch them. But soon they see a soldier from AIM, and he tells them to freeze. He calls the headquarters and tells them that he has found 3 civilians who were roaming free on the streets. He then tells them that these 3 were surrounding him, but it doesn't matter. He will be able to apprehend. At this moment, Captain's friend caught him, and Amory punches him hard, because of which he gets knocked out. Amory tells everyone that he just wants them to know that he doesn't like to use violence until it's necessary. David, while looking at the soldier, says that a fascist is a fascist, even if he has a degree. But they soon get shot by an electric gun, and the soldier who shot it says that they just don't have degrees, they have PhDs, and along with that, they have lightning guns. He tells the rest of his men to capture these fugitives. After capturing them, the soldiers say to them that this city now belongs to AIM, and their path was clear, their bribes are cashed, and their minds were humming, and no one will come to save them now. Meanwhile, Captain America reunites with his group. Captain America group was assembled by Aaron Fisher, captain of the railways, in a rural area, Dry, Nick Fury Jr., Sharon Carter, Roger Aubrey, and Redacted. Aaron thanks Captain for trusting him and says some of them had problems when they were coming to meet him. Peggy says to Aaron that they could have just ridden inside a train. But Nick Fury tells her that it was the right call because the outer circle knows where they were assigned and they were watching them. Then Nick Fury confirms Aaron's identity as captain of railways. Roger says that he has tried to contact Natasha, but she has gone dark, so he was not able to contact her. Sharon says that Clint was on high alert in New York City and he can't leave. Capt.America then tells everyone that the Captain Network helped him when he needed its help the most. And Aaron and his friends were fighting and helping the people all over the country, and he was proud to see them raising the shield in ways that he never could. Aaron, while embarrassed, says that he was happy to help. Aaron then asks them why were they all scattered in different places. Nick Fury says that they don't know. The outer circle moved their body. But it was not just their body. They did something to their minds because of which a lot of their memory was missing. Richard says that they have to get their memories back if they want to sort out all of this. He says that he knew many psychics, but all of them are dead, so someone from the younger generation should find a person who knows the mysteries of the mind. Capt.America says that he knows someone who will be able to help, but he looks at Sharon. Sharon says that she never told Steve to remain a monk when she was not with him. She tells Capt.America to call her. Capt.America says that he doesn't need to call her on the phone, all he needs to do is to think of a word. Then Capt.America thinks and says mommy in his mind. At once Emma the mutant queen comes there with her companion. She says to Captain that she never thought when she offered a favor to Captain during the Hellfire Gala that he will ask for her help with all these hobos. Sharon and others get frustrated when they see Emma Frost. Peggy points her gun at Emma and says that there was no chance that she was ever going to let Emma inside her brain. After everyone calms down, Capt.America tells Emma that someone did something to their mind because of which a lot of their memories were missing. Emma, after hearing this, says that mind erasing is a fragile art. Although the mind forgets everything, the scar tissues are always holding some echoes. By using all of their minds, they will be able to. Peggy interrupts her and says that she was not going to let Emma in her mind. Sharon tries to convince her, but Peggy still says no. Roger says that 5 minds were already enough to sort all of this. Then Emma tells them to close their eyes and to stay calm while she uses her power. After she enters their mind, she sees MODOC. He was saying that he is a metal organism that was designed only for control. He was the one who stole their memory, and he took it all away in a very painful way. Emma snaps her fingers and everyone comes back to reality. Peggy asks Sharon what they all saw, and Sharon says that they saw some kind of organism or a sleeping personality called MODOC. Emma says that her work was done, and while going out he tells Capt.America to remain a stranger to mutant for the time being because they already have a lot of problems like MODOC to deal with. Everyone was thinking about what happened, and Capt.America says that he needs a drink. During the night, Sharon comes and talks with Steve. She says to him that she thinks that he was also angry like her. Steve says that he was not just angry, he was furious. She asks him what was he looking for, and Steve says to her that he can't find Bucky. He is hoping to find him, but Buck is not going to come back as he was still playing their game. Steve says that Bucky was still his friend even if Bucky has forgotten that. Sharon says that Bucky knows that. Everyone knows that. Capt.America says that they need to stop reacting. They have to fight. Their enemy sent MODOC to steal their memory, and they can't just sit still, they have to fight. And that's all for today, guys. Stay tuned to get more new videos. Stay safe and keep watching.